So some of the things people complain about the most in the Model 3, especially the ones that haven't gotten into a Tesla before, is the lack of a screen in front of the steering wheel. You get to see a lot more, so I like it. I've also noticed that people coming from the S and the X have issues with that as well. I know my wife loves the Model X because of that screen in the front, and she has a tough time liking the Model Y because this doesn't have the screen there. I got hit up by a company that makes these, and there's a few companies that make screens like this. This one was kind of unique, and I thought I'd give it a try. Comes in this really cool box. Even though it says 3 on it, it'll work for the Y. Inside, we've got some Mickey Mouse ears. I wonder if this is a fast pass at Disney. Ow, that was hard. TESLAMOTORS, Tesla Motors. But this, I'm gonna install this today. This is really cool. Let me show you in detail. And then you open up to reveal the present. Really cool. I like the showmanship of everything here. But this is the screen. It kind of does look like Mickey Mouse ears, but it sits just past the steering wheel. And I'm going to install it. They have a great installation video, so I'm not going to waste time going over that. I really want to play with this and see what it's like living with it. And it comes with the cord, and that's it. So really nice packaging. I really like that. So inside the car, this is going to fit right here. Now we have to take the dash off, we have to take this piece off, this fits in there, and then we have to run the wire underneath the dash where the heater is, and this will sit right in there, obviously lower, but you'll be able to see the display right through the steering wheel. I think that's going to be really cool because of the fact that a lot of people don't like having nothing in front of them. Again, I kind of enjoy it, but you know, I know a lot of people have issues with that. So today we're going to fix that, and then I'm going to drive it for the next couple days before I post this video and really give you my review of it after owning it for a couple days, 2 or 3 days. I'm put some miles on the car and really understand the process instead of just installing it and saying, hey, great, you should get this thing. I really want to put it through its paces. So like I said, they have an install video, so I'm not going to really show that. I'll have that link below. Here's a quick version of that, where you're really just taking off the dash. I've done that before. I was the first one to do that, actually. Remember back in March or April, I think it was March. No, I got the car in March. I think it was May of 2018. I ripped the dash off, sanded it down, and stained it. Anyway, one of the first videos I did. But you take the dash off, run the wire over, hook it into the autopilot computer, and that powers it, and that displays it. Really nice. But again, I'm going to install this, and I'm really going to give you my honest opinion on this. Yes, they did send it to me for free, and I'll have a link for where to get it, or I'm trying to have them discount it for you because it's not cheap. It's not the cheapest thing, but it is a display. It's 2 round displays, which not too many people are going to have. Questions on warranty? I'm sure there's going to be people asking about warranty. You can easily disconnect this and take this back apart if you have to take it into service. Will they know? Probably not, unless you post a video on it for thousands to see. I don't know. But oh my God. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? That was hard. So it's been a few days since I installed the Mickey Mouse ears. I really like the concept of having the display right in front. I thought I didn't miss it, but I noticed that I look at that screen more than I look at the other screen for my speedometer. I really don't look that much at that 15-inch display anymore. The speedometer is bigger, you can see it easier. So I do like it. I really do like it. But there's good points and bad points to it. What do you want to hear first? The bad points? Okay, let's go over the bad points. Mine says Model 3, and I don't know if they just sent me the wrong one. I couldn't figure out how to change it, how to I messaged the guy who sent it to me a bunch of times, and mine says Model 3. I would love to change it to a Model Y. It's got the color correct because it's getting that from the computer, so it would show the color of your car. And luckily the Model 3 looks very similar to the Y, but it would be nice. The other thing I couldn't figure out how to change is the brightness. It seemed to be brighter than the big display, especially when the sun's setting a little bit and the screen gets a little darker, but this display doesn't when you have it in the daytime mode. I turned it to nighttime mode, so it wasn't a big thing. I guess that's just nitpicking a little bit, I guess. I just couldn't find a way to dim the screen. The other part was it's not that customizable. Yes, it's got 4 modes, four ways you can change the screen up, but I couldn't change anything on the screens. I would have liked to, when you go in autopilot, it shows the 2 cars the distance. I would like to change that up a little bit. Maybe have something else there. I don't know. Maybe the car with the half moons around it. Maybe that's an update coming to it later in the future. But the other bad part for me personally, this is really just for, I guess, overly tall people, freakishly tall people, is I was too tall for it. The tops of the circle get cut off by the steering wheel. I even raised the steering wheel up a little bit, lowered my seat, which wasn't uncomfortable. I do sit up a little bit higher. For most people, I don't see this as an issue. So it's really not, it's just personally to me. But the good things, there's a lot of good things to this display. I love the fact that on the screen, on the big screen, the 15-inch display, you can either toggle between miles left or percent. Well, this shows both. I love seeing both. I wish Tesla would do that. So I love seeing both of those on the displays, and they're individual. I love this fact that the speedometer is huge. It's way bigger than the other one, so it's way easier to see. Like I said, I find myself looking down at this more than I do the display, or the main display. I do like the fact that there's 4 different settings. Really 2 settings, because you have miles per hour and kilometers, and there's a dark mode and light mode between both of those. But there's at least, this is great for the whole world. I mean, it's not just for the United States, so that's really good. But there's a night mode and a dark mode. And actually a 5th one, because when you plug the car into charge, it shows a little supercharger there and cord going to the car. Really nice. I love the playfulness of this display. The last part that I love about this thing, I mean there's more, but the last part that I really love about this is when you're driving the car and you're in autopilot and you just let go and you're not paying attention, you get the blue flashing on the screen. Well, this pops up a black steering wheel to let you know, so it's right there in your eyesight. Once the car beeps to let you know, hey, you really need to pay attention here, the steering wheel turns yellow. And then if you wait too long, it turns red and starts, the whole car goes nuts because it's wanting to shut down and everything, come to a complete stop, the hazards go on. It shows the turn signals, by the way, too. It's just really cool how they took the information and put it on the display, and I really think it's pretty cool. I really do like it. So on the back of the display, what you really don't see, there's 2 USB ports, or 2 USB-C ports on the back. And I asked the guy, what are those for? And he said they're for future updates. So it looks like this will be able to get firmware updates. How? I'm not positive if you have to download something. He didn't elaborate onto that, but it's for future updates. But I did plug in a USB-C cord to that and ran that to my phone, and it did charge my phone. So there's power coming out of those. So if you have a phone mount that attaches to the top of the screen, which they do sell as well, I have a link down below, you can run the cord from the back of that, hide the wire a little bit better instead of running it underneath into the center console, which doesn't really work too well. And then you can power that charger up top there and have, you can have multiple screens. You have the 2 screens, well actually 3 screens, because there's a little one in the middle, and then your phone, and then the big display. And you can have more screens than the Porsche Taycan. And then just plug in a little turbo heater, and you'll have one more turbo than a Porsche Taycan turbo. Now, as far as the installation goes, it wasn't very difficult. Removing the dash is not very difficult. A little scary at some points, but not very difficult. The hardest part, really the hardest part, is plugging this device into the autopilot computer. Now, it's the gray plug on most of the way up on the side of the autopilot computer. The side where you unplug that, there's not that much room back there. That's why I had to lay the passenger seat down, flip upside down, lay up underneath there and get it, because I couldn't really contort my hand to get it in there. It was just, it took a little bit. Once I figured it out, and I was upside down and I was able to see it better. Running the wire over to the device and taking the plastic piece off and replacing it with this, a piece of cake. So I think anybody can do that. The difficult part is plugging that in. And if you have smaller hands, probably easier. So the difficulty level on 1 to 10, I would say a 5, just because of that plug. If it was easier to plug in, if it was on the other side, then this would be like a 2. So do I recommend this? Do I recommend you buy this? You go run out there and get it. Well, you don't have to run anywhere. It's on Amazon. It's not super cheap, so I would say it's not for everyone. It's $560. So I don't think it's a must-have. If you're into customizing your car, which I know a lot of people are, if you want something different than everyone else's, I would say go ahead and get this. This is pretty nice. I do think this is a great addition. If you're one of those people that can't get over the fact that there's nothing in front of you, then yes, I recommend getting this. If you're into customizing your car to make it look different than everybody, $560 is not that much for a customization like this that not too many people are going to have. You go to car shows, once the world gets back to normal and car shows are a thing again, not too many people are going to have it. I think for those reasons, I would go out and get it. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Hopefully you enjoy the product. I think it's a great product. Subscribe to my channel because I got more stuff like this coming in the future. Hit the like button, helps out the YouTube algorithms. And as always, stay awesome, stay positive, and keep customizing. Make your car yours. You know, there's so much stuff you can do to your car so yours doesn't look like everyone else's car. I went to Atlanta for that big Tesla meetup, and there's so many cars that look the same. I'm so glad mine looks totally different. I was able to spot mine. I mean, yeah, I had a giant tire on the roof, but so easy to spot mine out of everyone else's. They all look the same. So customize your ride, make it different, make it yours, and enjoy what you do with it. I'll catch you on the next one.